Hey guys, just made it back from the Bass Junkyz Championship at Blue Water Resort and Casino in Parker, Arizona. Had a very good weekend on the river. Was blessed to win the event and have big fish. So to say it was a good weekend would be an understatement. I was really blessed with a few big bites each day that really kind of propelled me into the top of the standings, and just really fortunate. I was fishing solo. My partner Laren had some prior engagements that he had to tend to in his business, and so I can't blame him for that. I wish he was there with me to help out. Tune in soon to see the tournament video. Right now, I'm going to go over with you the baits that I use to be able to catch a big bag each day at Parker. Right now in the springtime, these tips that I give you will work pretty much in general in the springtime for smallmouth fisheries. And I'm really blessed that I was able to do what I did this weekend by myself. Those smallmouth can be a handful to land by yourself at the boat, and you'll get to see some of those antics when we post that video for our YouTube channel. So, all right, let's get right into it. Let's dive right into this. Everything I'm talking about right now is available at Copper State Tackle. Remember to use my discount code Creston10 to get yourself that 10% discount. Guys, hey, if nothing else, just think about it as it saves you your taxes. And, you know, with the way the economy is and everything, the inflation of everything in everyday life, man, any money that you can save will be great. So, all right, without further ado, here we go. As you can see on the deck, it was pretty simple. These 4 rods did the heavy lifting of both my days. So day 1, I caught 1 fish just fishing, and basically all the rest of my fish that day. And day 2 that I weighed in came sight fishing. I caught fish other ways, but sight fishing is how I brought them, the bigger ones, to the scale. So day 1, and which was the first 5-pounder I caught. Now, before this tournament, I had never caught a 5-pound smallmouth on a scale. I've caught lots of high 4s, but I never had a 5-pounder on a scale. I was fortunate enough to have a smallmouth over 5, both days of the tournament. Day 1, I had a 503. Day 2, I had a 534, which also happened to be day 1 and day 2 big fish. So what a blessing that was. So day 1, about my 10th cast, throwing the mag draft. I was throwing the 6-inch mag draft, and about 6 or 7 casts in, man, I got just slammed, and I knew it was a big fish. Saw it, and I was like, and so being by myself, I didn't even have the net out yet. I boat flipped that thing, threw it in the live well. What a great start. So as you can see on the one I was actually throwing, I run a number 2 feathered treble hook. I don't know, this one is white and chartreuse. That's what I was throwing, but all white, whatever. Just a feathered treble hook. I think especially on smallmouth, it just gives them a target, and you get a little bit better hookup rate with that feathered treble hook, in my opinion. So I was running that on the Tatula Elite soft stick bait football jig rod, but for skipping docks, which is a big thing at Parker, and for just throwing a treble hooked bait in general, especially one like this that has a lot of weight to it that they can throw. You want a limber rod that you can really skip that bait with, and that you can control those fish, that has a lot of bend and a lot of play in it as they're jumping, shaking, and doing all that. High speed reel, I go braid to fluorocarbon leader. I'm throwing 20-pound leader and 50-pound braid and a high speed reel. and I caught a couple day 2 on that too, but just not that made it to the scale. So day 1, big fish, that's what it came on right there. Can't wait for you guys to see the video on that one. All right, now the next 3 are all baits that I threw bed fishing. I do have an honorable mention here that I caught some nice fish on, but none of them made it to the scale, and that is the new missile baits. 4-inch mini magic worm. My first tournament throwing these worms. This color is Ed's orange, and I just nose hooked that in the current and pulled it down with the current and the grass lines, and I caught a few good fish doing that on day 1 and 2, but none of them made it to the scale. So that's the honorable mention there, and that was on a drop shot. So getting right into the meat of things, I would have the jig in my hand as I was searching through beds, and I would just pitch it around. And then if I found a bed, this was the first bait that I threw in. And that's just a 1/2 ounce Kitech green pumpkin jig with a chigger crotch trailer. Very basic, simple. Again, a Kitech 1/2 ounce green pumpkin football jig. And a lot of times, if those fish were ready and fired up, they would just go ahead and bite that, and that's all I would have to do is pitch that in there and they'd be ready to go. And that I was throwing on the Shimano's Poison Adrena 7.3 medium heavy with the Shimano Bantam. You guys know I love that reel, and that was also a high-speed 8-to-1 reel. You have to excuse my daughters in here playing around with us while we're filming, but with 7 kids, you gotta love them and you gotta enjoy them being around you. But anyways, that was 12-pound FC Sniper fluorocarbon for the line on that, but that one definitely did a little bit of work for me this weekend. And I was in Laren's boat. My boat's in Texas, so I was in Laren's boat, so this was his gear that I was using. But I got to play with this rod of his a few times, and man, for a finesse jig rod, whew, I absolutely love it. As I was fishing it, I really thought that it'd also make a really good topwater rod, just because of how light it is. I like the action. But man, check that out, guys. Copper State's got some in stock right now. It is awesome. It is a little bit of a high-end rod, but if that's something that you enjoy, check it out. Really nice. Really nice setup. Okay, so if the jig didn't immediately fire them up, I would go ahead and swap over to the Dark Sleeper. A lot of people make similar baits to this. Pick whichever one you like. This is the 3/4 ounce. I did, if you can see, I did put a little bit of chartreuse on that tail. Just a bluegill imitation down there in their bed. This definitely seemed to get them fired up. The hookup ratio wasn't great on this bait, but I did catch a couple big ones on it. But a lot of times I just use this to kind of get that fish fired up, get that fish to stay in the bed, and get that fish ready to eat. Throwing that on the X-Bride 7.2 heavy, and again, that was a big player. Caught a few fish on it, and got them fired up. That's on 14-pound FC Sniper. Go check it out. All right, the next bait I'm going to show you. I don't know if you can see that, but that's a whole pack gone. That's the brand new 6 cent 3-inch party minnow. This Clearwater rose color was just dynamite. Caught a pile of them, and then when I ran out of the Clearwater rose, I went to that Ghost Ice minnow and put that little bit of chartreuse. Not only did that help with the visual for me seeing the bait, but I think that like I said, with the bluegills, the spawn, definitely helped out So as you see, hopefully you can see that I thread that bait onto a number 2 decoy shot hook. These things are super sharp. They really pin those fish well. But I will warn you, they are a light wire hook. They're not a power hook. So 6-pound test, the right rod and reel, your drag set properly, and these hooks are dynamite. If you go overpowered with this hook, you are gonna bend them out. They are a light wire, fine wire hook. I would even say fine wire more than light wire. All right, so 1/4 ounce tungsten drop shot weight. Your leader length, man, that just really depends on your style. I know a lot of guys will throw a really short leader. I like a little bit longer leader because sometimes I'm casting towards those fish, and that angle will keep that weight out of the bed and that bait in the bed. And you can just keep that bait in the fish's face. I got that on the iRod Air 722 medium rod with the Shimano Stratic 3000 and 16-pound braid, 6-pound leader, and that did a lot of the heavy lifting on those bed fish. And those were my 4 setups, guys. I love smallmouth fishing in the springtime. It is so fun. I'm grateful for you guys coming along. Stay tuned, like I said, to our YouTube channel to see some great footage of that tournament win at Parker. Again, I'm grateful for all my sponsors. I'm grateful for Bass Junkyz for putting together an awesome event, and for the wonderful fisheries that we have. Parker is probably the best smallmouth fishery in Arizona, in my opinion, for sheer average size of smallmouth. Yeah, Mojave's got the giants. Yeah, Havasu's got them. But Parker is really a gem right now, and hopefully it'll be that way for years to come. So again, guys, check out Copper State. Go get this stuff while it lasts. I know as soon as this video releases, they're going to be hot and they're going to be flying off the shelves. So please like and subscribe. It sure helps the channel. And if you want to leave a comment and you have any questions, go ahead and do that, and I'll do my best. One thing I almost forgot, one essential item for springtime bass fishing, especially sight fishing, is a good polarized set of glasses. These are the Banjos. I was wearing Costas during the tournament. It doesn't really matter the brand. Just get a high quality set of polarized glasses. There's lots of companies out there, all different price range. You don't have to buy crazy expensive sunglasses. Just go get yourself a good pair of polarized sunglasses, and it'll make all the difference when you're trying to sight fish. So again, I appreciate you guys coming along, and until next time, we'll see you later.